What's going on, family? Welcome to another episode of the C's Monroe Show. I am your host, and today we're here to talk about a few things. We're going to be talking about the migrant crisis. We're going to talk about Candace Owens throwing smut on LeBron James' name, and we're also going to talk about Kim Porter's alleged book right here after the intro. So we've heard about the migrant crisis going on all over the United States of America, but it's starting to hit home for me now. So the migrants have been coming here for about, and I mean here like Chicago, for about a year now. Things are getting a little out of hand. Reason being that there's supposed to be a gang from Venezuela that's out here wilding. The problem is with that is, this is Chicago. We're like the home of the gangs. Like, it just started here. Like, this gang-ish started here and just spread. So when it comes to these type of crises, we kind of know how to handle things a little bit differently out here. So when we start thinking about all the things and all the crimes we were thinking of late 2023, early 2024, we were kind of wondering what was going on. And now it's starting to make sense of what's happening in Chicago. A lot of these people are talking about this. I forgot the name of the gang. It's like, whatever the hell his name is. It's just supposed to be a gang from Venezuela. They did they took over the Colorado apartment buildings, and they were trying to do something similar here. Again, it's a little different here. You're just in a different area. So it didn't work out as well. But I like the way that we're sweeping it under the rug. Reason being is this gang-ish has been something that we have been entitled to being in Chicago for like its infancy. So like since the 1800s, it's just like Chicago has been known for that lifestyle. So when it comes to these type of situations, like I said before, we know how to handle them. And it seems like the government is allowing us to handle these issues. That's all I'm going to say as far as that. But overall, I just feel like it's going to be a bit of a problem because it's not really reneging. What's the word I'm looking for? It's kind of contradictive of we don't want gangs in America and we're allowing certain things to happen here from other countries, which makes no sense whatsoever. Like, I grew up in Chicago in the 90s and I know the way we used to get hounded. And think about it, like I was literally in single digit age in the 90s, all through the 90s. So me seeing myself, my cousins, my brothers getting hounded by the police officers off of gang activity. No, don't get me wrong, it was warranted. But for us to be getting this type of treatment, and we are citizens here versus citizens coming from other countries to do these crimes and we're not considering them terrorists, is a little wild. That's how I think about things, but I could be wrong here. I could be completely wrong. This is just something that's been eating at me for a little bit now, because if you look at our history, like, you kind of locked up the leaders of, I don't even want to consider them gangs, of these organizations. You locked up these leaders, and now there's no leaders to go to when situations like this get out of hand. I heard that the Hells Angels kind of got together and handled the situation in Aurora, Colorado, which was dope. But at the same time, this is why you don't lose your core, if that makes sense. I don't want to say too much, but this is why you need those type of organizations around, because situations like this are going to happen. And looking at the military, like, our military is less than 1% of our entire population. So that worries me, because I don't think it's ever been that low in ever. So that's a little worrisome for me. I don't think we understand how important it is to have like our top guys as far as our military officers, of course, like the top people to choose for those positions, knowing where to put these guys in these positions, even if the guys are just applying, knowing, hey, you just might not fit over here in this type of situation. So we have let's say another city that needs officers right now. We're going to send you over there. That type of thing. Like, there needs to be a network. Police officers need to form a network. Our governments need to form a better network to get things handled a little bit differently now, especially if you see what's going on. Like, we've all seen Secret Invasion. Like, this is what's happening right now, guys. I just feel like that's what's happening. And if you feel like I'm disrespecting you, Go to hell. This is not about like your feelings right now. This is about actuality of what's going on. I'm just saying the obvious. Another thing I have a problem with as far as being from Chicago and Illinois in general, we have like the most strictest gun laws. I believe we're like number 3 in the country. And we have some of the worst crimes out here. Something we're not doing right that needs to be changed. And we're just ignoring these things for some odd reason. And then you have states like Idaho, who has like the lowest crime rates per capita, and they have no gun laws for the most part. They have like none. Like it's literally pistols out over there. So I don't understand the correlation of more gun laws, less problems when you have more gun laws here and we're having extreme problems over here in this region. So that's something to think about, guys. Tell me what you think about it. A lot of people are trying to weaponize this situation against the Democrats. I don't think this is a Democratic issue or a Republican issue. It's an American issue. And right now we need to start thinking bigger and better for America right now, because we're just suffering with this Democratic Republican race. It's getting bad. All right. So tell me what you think about it, guys. Are you guys up on the situation that's going on in Chicago right now with the migrants, the Venezuelan gang? I keep forgetting their name. I'm not even going to try to say their name because I have it written down, but it gets weird. Either way, I just feel like that's something we need to work on. Go ahead and let me know what's going on. And if you heard about it, let me know in the comments. I heard that they're going to New York and all that other good stuff. The thing that I'm questioning is, if these guys are getting on buses, trains, and airplanes, why aren't they being searched going among them? But I get it. They have all these bags. You only have so many border patrol. Hire me for a month. Let's do better, guys. Let's do better. Let's get into our next topic. We're going to be talking about Candace Owens. She was taking shots at my boy LeBron James, saying that he wasn't speaking up about the Diddy situation. Okay, Candace. Look, I love Candace Owens. I feel like she's a phenomenal person. She speaks her mind, and I can rock with her. It doesn't mean I necessarily agree with everything that she says. I don't necessarily agree with what anybody says, but for the most part, Candace Owens be hitting it right on the head. I just feel like this situation is kind of weird. Like, she's saying that LeBron should speak out about this situation because he was at Diddy parties, so on and so forth. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but why does he need to speak up in this situation at this point in time? It's kind of, how do I say it? It's like, why put yourself in the fire? Like, even if you were there, like, why speak out about it? And then she spoke on how he speaks out about other things, but at the same time, those other things are about his people. And I don't necessarily know if Diddy is his people. Like, people get friendship and associate mixed up a little bit too much, and I think that's what's going on there. Just because you hang out with somebody once or twice don't mean that you're friends. You can be associates, and you don't know too much about these people's lives. It's like you just hung out with them a couple times. The affiliation isn't necessarily there, but people are trying to read in more on this situation just because it's LeBron James. We have to stop doing that. It's getting out of hand. It's ignorant. Just leave it alone. Bringing up the Diddy party, though, I do want to say again, there are celebrities that's just saying like, oh, I left before this happened. And it's like, all right, everybody not leaving on time, G. That's just not happening. But I understand, keep your mouth closed. I see what's going on here. But again, we shouldn't be allowing this stuff to happen. Point blank, simple. Like, again, at this situation, this has been going on for years. People have known about this for years, and nobody has done anything about it so far. So right now isn't the time to be pointing out people that have nothing to do with this situation. We should be focused on the criminal, get that creep up out of here, and move on from the misery of the Diddy party. Like, just stop calling it what it is, the freak offs or whatever the hell they want to call it nowadays. Just leave it alone. It's not necessary. We don't need it. All right. So that's what I have to say. My sister Candace Owens, we love you, but you got to relax. This kind of brings up a situation where, kind of reminds me of a situation. I was just having an argument with someone on IG the other day, and we were speaking on they put up a post. And if you guys don't know who Marcellus Williams is, he was a brother that just was executed, September 24th. And I guess there was evidence that he was innocent and the county wouldn't hear him out. The courts wouldn't hear him out, which is nuts. But again, that's the injustices we deal with in America, which is another reason why I feel like we're letting other people in our house and we're not even taking care of our house yet, which is kind of a problem. But we'll get to that conversation later. Either way, Marcellus Williams just was executed, and someone took the time to recreate a scenario where they're like, oh, we're executing an innocent man, but we're allowing, pretty much they just ran off Donald Trump's criminal history. And they said they're allowing him to become president without saying his name. And I just kind of put in the comments, like, what the hell does this have to do with Trump? I just thought it was nasty. Like, you literally just seen a man. Well, you didn't see him pass, but you've seen or know that he was just executed, and you use this time to weaponize this against a party that you're against a political party that you're against. And I just felt like it was nasty to use that for political gains, but that's what these people do now. These people are like diabolical. Like, it literally happened at 6 p.m. They were posting this at like 6:15. It was they're out of control on this situation. It's just disrespectful. I'm gonna just say that. All right. People are just nasty. I want to say first and foremost, Assalamu alaikum to the brother Marcellus Williams. Rest in peace. Rest easy. As far as his innocence, I'm not sure if he was innocent or guilty, but I'm saying that they should have heard out the evidence before executing him. And just off of situations like that, that's why I'm against execution. I get it. The taxpayers' dollars are paying for the prisons, whatever the hell. But we can pay $400 million for some immigrants here in Chicago. So I know we can afford to house some criminals here in the United States. So we have to stop making that excuse. The problem with execution is we show too many flaws in our justice system to allow executions to happen. So I'm against it 100%. All right. So that's that. Rest in peace, Marcellus Williams, man. I'm sure you're going to be missed. And again, he was my brother in faith. So any Muslim brother, like when something happened, I definitely shedded a tear for him. Rest in peace, my man. All right, let's get into our last topic of the night. We're going to be talking about Kim Porter's book or alleged memoir. The author put it out. Kim Porter is, for those of you who don't know, Kim Porter is the ex-girlfriend of Diddy. So supposedly she had this memoir written before her death. I believe she passed back in like 2021, somewhere around there. She probably passed a little earlier than that, but I'm not sure. I want to put too many dates on it. But the author that she was writing the book with supposedly put out this memoir, and it allegedly had some like other stuff in there as far as these freak offs happening. They started putting people's names in there. They put Bow Wow's name in there. They put Usher's name in there. And they put Justin Bieber's name in there. Now, the reason why I kind of looked at this sideways is because if you look at the date that Kim Porter broke up with Diddy or separated from Diddy or whatever you want to consider it, and the date that Justin Bieber was like put on scene, it was like, it didn't match up. So I was just saying, if that didn't match up, then if this is not true, then what else isn't true in this memoir, if this is really from her memoir? So that, I take that information with a grain of salt. I feel like it wasn't needed. It wasn't necessary. I feel like it was disrespectful for anybody to be releasing anything right now, especially that fast. Like, Diddy got arrested yesterday and he put out a memoir a day later. Like, it was bad timing. It was just disrespectful, but everybody wants to be the star right now. So that's just how things go, unfortunately. But yeah, man, again, half of the stuff that was in there is credible. That man needs to be thrown under the jail, but let the man have his due diligence in court. Let that play out the way it's going to play out. I think we need to stop trying to throw smut on the name. Everybody seems to be shooting at Diddy right now, but I just feel like, where were y'all a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago? especially when he was jerking all of these artists, pause. Nobody was in support, but now everybody's jumping on this bandwagon of Get Diddy. So it's just weird. Either way, that's my show for today. I appreciate y'all for tuning in for another episode of the C's Monroe Show. Go ahead, hit that like button, that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. Leave a comment down below. Let me know how you feel about these topics. Do you feel like I'm wilding on these topics? Do you feel like I'm going too far on certain things? I don't think I'm going too far, but again, that's what the comment section is for. Let's have these conversations. I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all Monday for Movie Talk Monday. Have a good one. Peace.